Hey everyone, it's Rob. It's been a little while. Things have been hectic, but I did finally finish the fourth game, the micro games that I've been making to sort of learn programming in Godot. It is a point and click adventure game in the vein of like Return to Monkey Island, stuff like that, called Ahab's Quest. And in the game, you're Ishmael, and Captain Ahab, before that fateful voyage, has lost his keys to the boat, and you must collect random items from around the map. Well, seemingly random items from around the map that will help you get the keys from where he dropped them in the dock. I tried to add in a little irreverent humor. There's a lot of different stuff going on here. Overall, I think the game really came together when Rowan redrew my backgrounds and drew the initial sprites for the characters. It was just a lot harder to see how everything fit together until all the artwork was in there and cohesive. For a while, it was stick figures and just making sure that they moved properly and they moved where they were supposed to, and the things showed up. But that last step of updating the art just elevated the game so much from where it was. And it's now you can fit, if you are speedrunning it, you can do it in about 2 minutes if you know exactly where everything is. Otherwise, you have to click around a bit. There are multiple characters that you can't get what you need to move on until you talk to them and then leave the scene and come back. There is a bit of moon logic to everything. It does not necessarily make how you get the keys out is not something I think many people would intuit, and that's part of the joke because we've all seen the point and click adventure games where you have to find a deflated duck raft and some and a rope and a engine clamp, and somehow that makes something that allows you to fetch something out of a canal. Those are the classic examples. I also tried to add a lot of humorous lines to things. I decided very early on that in the 3 scenes I had that I wanted the white whale to be in one of them in a bad disguise. And originally I was going to have Rowan draw a more realistic sort of sperm whale sort of design, but I drew up a quick mock-up of what the whale would look like, and I showed it to people, and they loved it. And it's a problem I've had with some of my other designs too. I have a basic token in Goblin Stomp for the goblin, and I showed that to people, and they're like, never change it. This is your token forever. And I'm like, well, this isn't really the aesthetic I'm going for, but if people like it, maybe I have to. So it's alright. It fits. It doesn't have to be super realistic. I think it translates as the whale in an appropriately funny way. So yeah, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's just mildly out of place, like a vending machine, a modern janitor. It took a while because circumstances, really. Sitting down and making it, a couple of weeks maybe. 3 weeks of just doing it after work, not even as a full-time thing. I've composed some music for it, and I designed multiple different UI interfaces for both the dialogue box and for the inventory. The inventory is hard-coded. It's nothing. When you pick something up, it goes to a specific assigned slot. It doesn't go to the nearest empty slot. That's something I'm going to be working on in a future RPG adventure game, is learning how to do an inventory system and a quick bar system that interact properly. So that's a later thing that's on the docket. But I got a basic dialogue system, a couple of quirks to that, when you initiate interaction with any of the icons, the dialogue system pops up and your character has to stop moving because I don't want you to click something and move around. And I also had to make it so that the interactive icon for that item turns off, so you can't keep clicking it, and you can't because I want it to pop up multiple times or pop up new lines or something, or interfere with your ability to read the dialogue system. So a lot of that. We also worked with global variables to make sure that the things that were in your inventory, that translates scene to scene, and the game knows what stage you're in. and that was, it was actually very easy to do in Godot. So it worked out really well. I know I'm building, based on what I've learned so far, I'm building kind of a framework for future games so that I have something with where you can resize the screen and change the audio options, and like I don't have to rebuild that every time I make a game. I can just tweak the framework and then just take it, do an offshoot project, have the actual game. But like I'm learning a lot about like initial menus and key bindings and stuff like that. So a lot of that's going in. So yeah, it's been going well. Slower than expected, but still, I might make 5 or 6 games in my first year of really doing game development, and that's on top of Rowan coming out with new books and me coming out with a new tabletop game. So I think the pacing is pretty good considering how overwhelmed I typically schedule myself with projects. So I'm gonna call this a win, and I'm gonna move on to finishing Goblin Stomp, and maybe get one more game started this year. And I won't say done, but we'll get one more game started this year. Maybe a quick match 3 game, something a puzzler, something simple, or something that is for the user simple. I do not know how that would act on the back end. I haven't looked into it yet, but yeah. We'll keep you up to date. The next video that I talk about the game development, I'll probably talk about Goblin Stomp. I'm very happy with the development on that one, but it's not quite ready to show you yet, so keep an eye out for the next video. I'd say on that one we're about halfway done, so maybe sooner rather than later. We'll see. Rock on.